The wrong place at the wrong time, or a racially motivated attack? What has Bill Cosby publicly said about his only son's tragic murder? Keep watching to hear about the chilling details of Ennis Cosby's murder. Bill Cosby and his wife, Camille Olivia Hanks, had 5 children. While the couple would go on to have 4 daughters, their only son, Ennis Cosby, was born in 1969. Tragically, Ennis was just 27 years old when he was murdered in January 1997. At the time of his death, Ennis was pursuing a doctoral degree at New York's Columbia University. Per the Los Angeles Times, he was described as a thoughtful and caring man who tutored the disadvantaged and homeless in his free time. Ennis's death was made even more distressing due to the fact that he was seemingly killed without provocation in what was later described as a botched robbery attempt. In the early morning hours of January 16, 1997, Ennis was driving his mother's Mercedes SL convertible along Interstate 405. As he traveled through the Sepulveda Pass, he got a flat tire and pulled over to the side of the road. He called his girlfriend, Stephanie Crane, and asked her to meet him. According to multiple reports, Crane attempted to dissuade Ennis from changing his own tire as she was concerned for his safety. She apparently asked him to call a tow truck for assistance, but Ennis was reportedly intent on changing the tire himself.
Like, why are you doing this? Why don't you have a tow truck come? Why don't you have someone come change this?
When Crane arrived, she parked behind her boyfriend's car while he worked on changing his tire. Shortly afterwards, a man reportedly approached Crane's vehicle and threatened physical harm if she did not open her door. As reported by OK Magazine, Crane immediately began driving away to avoid a confrontation. However, as she pulled away, she was stunned to hear a gunshot. When she drove back to the scene, Crane found Ennis dead with a bullet wound to the head. The killer had already fled the scene. The killer took off and authorities were unable to make an immediate arrest. However, authorities did recover a handgun and a knit cap, which they determined were linked to the murder via the Los Angeles Times. Detectives eventually identified a man and a woman who were persons of interest in the case. However, they were both questioned and ultimately released. Authorities finally got a break in the case when a $100,000 reward, funded by the National Enquirer, encouraged a witness to come forward. Per AP News, Christopher So told authorities that his former friend, 18-year-old Mikhail Markashev, had been bragging about shooting and killing Ennis Cosby in the days and weeks after the murder. According to So, he allegedly drove Markashev and another man to search for the discarded weapon that was used to commit the crime. Discussing why he decided to come forward, So told AP News, "He took somebody else's life, somebody's son. I have a kid too, and if something happened to my kid, I'd want somebody to come forward and do what I did." Markashev, a Ukrainian immigrant, was using a telephone in a park-and-ride lot when he spotted Cosby and his disabled car, per history. According to witnesses, Markashev approached Cosby and asked him for money. However, when Cosby reportedly took too long, Markashev shot him in the head. As reported by the Los Angeles Times, Markashev was already known to authorities and had a criminal record. Hair evidence quickly became crucial in the case of Ennis Cosby's death. As noted by the Los Angeles Times, the hair came from a dark blue knit cap that was wrapped around a .38 caliber Taurus revolver that prosecutors say Markashev, Zakaria, and his girlfriend ditched in a wooded area in the San Fernando Valley shortly after Markashev used it to kill Cosby. Per the New York Times, DNA testing revealed that the hair samples recovered from the knit cap were consistent with Mikhail Markashev's hair. The recovered handgun was found to have been used in the assault, and Markashev was subsequently charged with Ennis Cosby's murder. The trial lasted 2 weeks before it was turned over to the jury, which was made up of 6 men and 6 women. After fewer than 6 hours, the jury returned with a unanimous guilty verdict. According to AP Archive, Markashev didn't show any emotion when the jury's decision was read. In July 1998, Mikhail Markashev was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of Ennis Cosby. Although he initially denied involvement and filed an appeal, Markashev ultimately confessed to the heinous crime. In 2001, Markashev sent a letter to the California Deputy Attorney General in which he requested to withdraw his appeal. In a transcript of the letter shared by ABC News, Markashev explained, "I am guilty, and I want to do the right thing. More than anything, I want to apologize to the victim's family. It is my duty as a Christian, and it's the least I can do after the great wickedness for which I am responsible." Prior to his letter to the California Deputy Attorney General, Markashev wrote another letter, which was introduced during his trial. In this letter, he referred to Ennis Cosby by using a racial slur. As reported by ABC News, Markashev's attorneys argued that the letter was forged. However, Markashev allegedly used the same slur when describing his victim to Christopher So. Ennis's father, Bill Cosby, referred to Markashev's racism in a 2020 Instagram post. which was posted by his legal team as he was incarcerated at the time. The statement said, "When I think about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and countless other Black people murdered by racial hatred, I could not help but think about my son, Ennis, who was also brutally murdered."
Our family.
Ennis's mother, Camille Cosby, also blames racism for the death of her son. In an article published by USA Today, Camille said she did not blame Ukraine for instilling racism in Mikhail Markashev. Instead, she believes her son's killer became a racist after moving to the United States, writing, "Markashev was exposed to America's intolerable, stereotypical movies and television programs about Black people, which were not shown in the Soviet Union before the killer and his family moved to America in the late 1980s. Camille also blamed the prominence of white supremacists in the United States for encouraging more hatred and a concerning increase in hate crimes committed against Black people. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about true crime are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.